Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well today. So, Jeenine was streaming recently, and I was itching to do a couple of invasions despite my grievances with them. And really, when it comes to invading, at least at meta level, you essentially have to wait until a streamer's on to be able to actually get some action. So we're gonna just look at some of the ones I got, and we're gonna do a little bit of complaining. If you're not in the mood to listening to a big old ding-dong complain about invasions for 10 minutes or so, then don't watch this. But we have a bit of a drawn-out one here to start. What we're looking at is two guys that were clearly trying to get invaded by Mr. Strimmer, and they're both mages, and mages are kind of a mistake in this game. The amount of spam that they get to do at any and all times is just the pinnacle of fun. I can't think of anything in life that's more fun than fighting a Call of Duty player in the middle of my Dark Souls Elden Ring game. So, they're just spamming this stuff, and I'm gonna eventually make the decision, hey, maybe I should try and, find some enemies to, fight with me, something like that. But this is about the point where it would become obvious that these guys were absolutely looking to gank. There was no amount of PvEing the level they intended on doing, because as it would turn out, the things up here are dead already. You may have already noticed that the gargoyle isn't coming along and helping, so I mean that's already telltale, but even the smaller enemies up here are dead. Now the reason that we're running away like this, something that is sort of ingrained in my monkey brain is to never back down, and that doesn't mean I don't play passively, but it does mean that I do have generally I don't like when people run away from me, and I don't like running away from people. Thing is that when you're fighting people that are playing like this, I mean, you kind of just don't have a choice unless you want to see a "you died" screen. If I didn't say it already, I'm essentially putting all the losses at the beginning of the video, other than one, and then we will move on to some more of the successes we had yesterday. So, you know how it is. So he's spamming all these little pew-pews, all these magics and whatnot. Amazing latency frostbite right there. Realistically, what I need to be doing is just keep running. There's this part of my brain that thinks that I'm going to be able to fight two players doing this, and sometimes you can beat people in this situation, but the overwhelming majority of the time you're not. I did put on the turtle shell right here to give myself some more stamina when running away, which I think is quite valuable considering that the goblin step, or whatever people call it, doesn't regenerate stamina anymore. But I'm just looking through my inventory, trying to find something that will in fact work. I pull out the Katars here, but I think that there are more high pressure things I could probably pull out. Get roll caught by that, very sad. Get hit very hard by that, very sad. And now he's going for those golem arrows. Thankfully I do get behind the pillar right there fast enough, and he manages to whiff another shot. And once again I'm thinking, okay, what can I do to try and make this more favorable? The answer is not much. I've already used up too much Estus in comparison to their use of 0 Estus. But we're gonna give it our best shot. Realistically, like I said, what I should have done is just kept on running, kept a Bloodhound step, Ash of War weapon out, and just kept on running, because these guys were here for the sole intention of ganking and blendering people. And when it comes to stuff like that, I mean, if you're in the cycle of getting potentially roll caught over and over by everyone chasing you, you don't have a choice. You just need to run, and you need to run with as much invincibility as possible. But as you can see, we do get felled right there, and in typical Host and Phantom fashion, they immediately start teabagging, because apparently this is what people think is fun. So, on to the next. This one right here is once again a reason that Elden Ring invasions are amazingly epic and are nothing but fun at all times. So we start off, I see them, I'm like, oh, they're not wearing that heavy of armor. Oh, he's out of blue. Okay, we've got something going for us. Oh, he does no damage. Great, great. Now watch this guy behind us, though. I didn't have my headphones in, so... Oh, there's all my HP. Okay, bye-bye. My bad. Excuse me. Yep, and teabag on me. Yep. You already know. You already know. The hosts and the phantoms definitely don't have an IQ of 50. Not at all. Now, this one here is more so just so you can understand the pain and suffering. If you're an invader, you already have the pain and suffering, but we're going to live through it together because everybody likes complaining about invasions. Everybody likes it. They're just so good in this game. We have to sit through the whole cutscene, and I sped it up by 4 times, but this took like 40 seconds that like everyone was just nailed to the ground, not doing anything. But once again, we see one person by themselves, so we try to capitalize on that. We do hit them good, but I should have just immediately started going for roll catching, and now it's reared its ugly head that there's 3 people here. This is once again a situation where I should have ran away, and I chose to stick and fight, even though I am fighting 3 people. Very monkey brain play by your boy here. When it comes to these sorts of situations, I'm like, no, I will do it successfully. I don't do it successfully. We're getting hit hard here, all of our healing going out the window. I'm trying to put up a fight, lo and behold, I don't know how I rolled all of that, but we don't have a lot more gas in the tank. Actually, we got none, actually, excuse me. Alright, and thankfully he lights up our body, you know, to make sure that the corpse is warm. Very nice, very awesome. And this is right here why double spears, 2 people using double spears, is the peak of Elden Ring gameplay. Oh man, I'm getting bled. Oh man, they're staggering it perfectly. Oh. I love power stancing. I love power stancing. Alright, what we got going on now? I think that was the last one where we got our butts handed to us. I think it's time to have a little bit more success, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, we're swapping all around. There's only 2 of these guys as far as we can tell as of this point. I am on Shamshir right now. Shamshir is not a very good invasion weapon. However, you know, we gotta represent, you know. And then we intermittently swap to the power stance curved swords. I was panic rolling, got caught by that. You already know. And, you know, I really should, and I do eventually start looking for enemies to help me out. We find out that the host has quite a bit of latency. Get true comboed by all of that. Very epic. We're about to get felled, but we're able to get a heal off quick enough. We have to go for 2 there, though, because, you know, he's able to hit us, and if we had only chucked once, we'd have been back at the same amount of HP as before. So we're just trying to kite these players around. Not a whole lot of success right now. My brain is so big for getting hit by that. Like, I'm legitimately a intellig, like, truly. Somehow that didn't roll catch, but, you know, that's because these weapons are short. He's gone to a shield. I imagine he wants to parry me. Well, okay. Yeah, he just jumped out of the screen and said, yes, I do want to parry you. There is some projectile stuff going on, but we're not getting spammed as hard as we would in other invasions and whatnot, so not terrible. These guys were just kind of sitting around. I didn't record it, sitting at a warming stone. So I knew that these guys probably had dupe stuff, especially when he used like the Starlight Shard. This is the point where I was like, okay, this is stupid. Like, let's get the average Brazil enjoyers over here, and let's try and get them to help us. We got Mr. Big Brazil over there, Mr. Charles Oliveira, and we got these smaller guys over here, and we get hit really hard because once again my brain is made out of titanium. But thankfully, due to it being made out of titanium, I was able to get hit straight on the head and still live, excuse me. Get rid of that shield. Don't want to see that. Thankfully, these big guys can't hit us, so we're going to work with that and try and be as annoying as possible now that we have these guys working for us. You know, they spew all that bad juju all over the place at all times, so we gotta make sure that we just snatch victory right back from the clutches of having all of our Estus drained and not having much success before then. And GG guys, I know I'm pointing down. That's because I am a Malder. I am sorry, I was malding. It really do be like that sometimes. And what do we have here? So we have the Haligtree. Generally not the area of the Haligtree that I like too much, but you know, the Haligtree is still a goated area. We're gonna try and find the host. I had already used the Bloody Finger once and was on the opposite end of the Haligtree at that point. This is where I finally spot them, and I'm like, okay, it's time to play Duck Hunt. And I use the Ash of War once again because my brain is ginormous, and this time we're actually gonna shoot at them, get that. I thought the shot was gonna drop some, it did not, so we know that for next time. And we do a little cut here because I had to run around the entire Haligtree to get where they were. But they knew what they were doing. They wanted to make sure that this was their land, and they were not happy to have me up here. Thankfully, their damage with those spells was quite low, because if, say, one of them was over-leveled, that probably would have been the end of us. Jump down from there. They do not wish to pursue, so we do get our healing and whatnot. And he had full intention of shooting me. And unfortunately, I don't like being shooted. Get the roll catch. You already know. And really the easiest way to win invasions is to just use Endure. Like, legitimately, all people know how to do when they're on the home team is just spam their magic and spam their R1 buttons. Like, I'm not joking. 60% of your win rate in invasions in this game is just Endure. It's insane. So, use it. So, we go past the Phantom right there at the end because I see that they're all the way over there. Look at this beautiful shot. Sniping's a good job, mate. Challenging work. Out of doors. I'll promise you never go hungry, because at the end of the day, someone wants someone dead. And speaking of sniping, I feel like we need to make it bullet hell for our opponents real quick, since they don't have a clue that we're here right now. Very nice. Very interactive PvP. I hope you guys enjoy the interactions being had right now. As a matter of fact, let's interact all over our opponents real quick. Almost roll off because, once again, titanium brain. But we do pull out our main weapon. We've already felled somebody. I actually got quite a lot of Stormhawk Axe kills this night, even though I normally don't. Very epic. Very epic fall from our opponent. That is very much something I would do if I was hosting at Haligtree. Get a little bit of Stormveil at meta level. Very interesting. As it would turn out. Here he is, wearing good armor. Don't really know what to expect. Usually hosts aren't wearing that good of stuff, so. But I see that just hit the Beast Roar, so it's no surprise to me that he's right there. And as it's gonna rear its head, this guy has to be overleveled. Like, you see that he's able to do sorceries right there. And wow, look how hard that's hitting. Like, that's so much harder than Rivers of Blood has hit for like 9 months. Hit them with the Stormhawk Axe, run out of stamina, unfortunately. Probably would have been able to finish one off if that hadn't been the case. But they have chased me out into the enemies, and when it comes to being proper host and gankers, you have to make sure that you're not allowed to give the red any advantages at all, so suboptimal play from our opponents. But they're being pretty cool in all honesty. Like, one of them's over-leveled at least, but they are out here fighting in the enemies, so you don't get that happening all the time, so gotta commend them for that. Trying to get some roll catches here. Almost get the second one, but he did roll in time. So as you can see right there, oh, the Giant finished it for us. Thank you, Giant. They just don't understand how in-tier works. Like, they don't realize that just because they're over-leveled doesn't mean that they win every single trade. You almost do, but this time they didn't. Okay, what about now? So we got quite a couple that are right here in front of Malekith. Malekith's area right here, you get a lot of invasions in this area, whether it be from people that are immediately going into the boss fog or intentionally ganking right here. Had quite a bit of that last night because, you know, once again, Jeenine was streaming. And so we've done a couple of our own buffs. We are using the Shamshir because I am a Smegma Chad. I tried getting like a good jump attack on that second Claymore R1 or Blasphemous Blade R1, but I did not manage to do so. Do a little bit of spamming. They are not conventional because they decided we're going to actually roll out. Do a little bit of Beast Roar, aim at the floor. Now, really, what makes this scrap more winnable than all the others is that they're not properly just being as cancer as possible. Like, they're not both running at me with, like, halberds or dual power stance spears or anything like that. So, these guys are more manageable since we can actually heal every once in a while. And also, we are able to land quite a few of our attacks on them. I am getting hit pretty hard. I'm not choosing my moments to strike as well as I could. I do pull out the halberd here, and things do start looking a little bit up for me because it is quite effective. Like, R1 turn and burns with these is quite nice. Like, just doing these unlocked running R1s, hit them with the running R2, accidentally do a standing R1 rather than a running. Probably would have been the end of that invasion if I hadn't done that. Just trying to not get hit here. Hit him with another running R1. Do a little bit of spamming. Gotta keep in mind that the green was just all the way at 0, so gotta keep dibs on that. Gotta keep tabs on it. Go for this. Do I manage? I do. I'm so... Like, I literally have had Stormhawk Axe in my inventory for like a year now. And this was the first time in a year that I actually started using it. And would you believe it or not, sometimes it's just a win button. Sometimes you just get the Ash of War going, you start doing the Beyblades and letting it rip, and you just kill things. It's beautiful sometimes. But Stormhawk Axe, in all fairness, is one of the few instances of a borderline one-shot weapon I think being perfectly fine. Its range is so tiny that, yeah, I think it's fine. Now, I'm honestly really surprised these guys didn't fogwall me here, because these guys really did just look like PvEers. But if there's one thing you can count on PvEers to not do, it's to roll when they think it's their turn to attack. So, boink, boink, dwee, and sent back to the You Died screen. And our buddy here does the exact same thing. He thought it was his turn to attack the boss, and it was not. As a matter of fact, why don't we just kill more PvEers? Yeah, I mean, I can't believe that Meteor gave him the poise to do that, but you know, just hit them with a casual, like 900 on a running attack. Very balanced and well designed. Oh, we have invincibility, don't we? Doink, doink, doink. Hit him with the rotations. Hit him with the Beyblade. You know what? Let's go Beyblading again. Bye-bye, sir. I don't even know why I kept this one, in all honesty. These people were clearly underleveled compared to me. Let me see what happens. If I kept this in here for no particular reason, I will have outed myself as a bad player. Not that I don't do that already with my normal footage, but, you know, cut me some slack here. I'm only, like, in comparison to these guys, like, my build is only, like, complete and super powerful in comparison to these poor PvEers. Look how little that just did! Oh no, this is completely unfair. I wasn't really paying attention to the damage they were doing me. If I saw this amount of damage, I would have swapped to something or left some rune arcs on the floor or something like that. I should have been more kind. I wasn't paying attention. Oh. Alrighty, this is another case of being spawned on the other end of the universe. Also, I failed to mention that a lot of the ones at Malekith's doorstep, it spawned me all the way past the hurt ancient dragon. Literally spawned me further than that. So, I don't know what's up with that. Like, Elden Ring having the spawns of all time, like, I could not tell you for a single second why they're just so immaculately bad, but, you know, this is the game we choose to play. I go ahead and put Flame Fortification on because I see the Vikes. I think that will help. I wasn't using headphones, like I said, but I saw the dragon head and I said, nope. Nope. Oh, he don't know how to roll. GG, sir. Well played. Very fun fight. You can kind of get away a lot of the time with Power Stance Curve Swords, even though it's such a lackluster setup. There's just so many people that don't know how to roll, in which case, like, you know, you just get damage. Uh-oh, doink, doink, doink. There we go. Even the playing fields. That hit him quite hard. I almost finish him right here, but unfortunately, it does not occur to me quick enough that this guy is going to use Morgoth's sword like a pool noodle at a party. He's just gonna swing that thing regardless of how much stamina he has. He's just gonna keep on swinging it like it's a pool noodle. Hit him with this again. Somehow tank that. I'm surprised, honestly. I mean, that is a Ash of War that normally knocks you down. Alright, we're getting pool noodled. Hang on. Gotta go for the axe again. Do not get the kill. All out of blue as well. I attacked it right there because I thought he was going to be right on my butt, but he was further away than I expected. So I did a preemptive R1 thinking he was right behind me. I felt like a Giga Chad for getting out of my menus after getting hit like that. Also, once again, don't know how to roll. Because, like, this game doesn't let you swap things if you're in hit stun, unlike all the other Souls games. So making the conscious effort to decide to forego what I wanted to swap to get out, it's a basic thing, it really is, but, like, I was kind of proud of myself. Okay, we have a Mr. Vikes user, and we have a Popsicle enjoyer, so... Oh, there's 3 of them! Wow! So I see the damage I just took, and how much of a true combo that was. Pull out the Bloodhound Step, put on some stuff to... Obviously, we're not going to be healing anytime soon. I mean, look how keen they are to finish off my HP. We just got to do a little bit of the Fitness Gram Pacer test right now. Like, it goes against the grains of my nature to run like this. But I was thinking, man, I have died so many times for not being a bitch. So I just decided to... Oh, excuse me. I'm trying to stop cussing so much. I swapped to the Great Bow. Get that cancel right there. Very Giga Chad. Very Giga Chad play. But we are going to be a teensy bit of a wussy rundown here. I'm just merely hoping that the other, what are they called, beasts, the Crumbling Azula beasts, are still here. And I'm going to check here in a moment. Go ahead and buff up as much as possible. Get roll caught because, you know, definitely couldn't react to that. And would you know it, they are alive. And he just ran straight in. Their bloodlust for getting rid of me was too great, and they ran straight into a hole camp of these very, very powerful enemies. Keeps on pressing L1 because, you know, it really do be like that. He gets murked by the Beast Man, and now the host here is like, huh? Huh? Where'd my whole team go? Where'd my team go? Get that unlock running R1 right there. And yeah, playing like a wiener dog won us that one. Now, obviously we're in the actual like city section of Haligtree. I love the Haligtree so much, but for some reason, I know the reason, I just can't get invaded here anymore. Like, you can invade occasionally people here, but I like solo hosting here. You already know this. And I just can't get anybody to invade me all that often. The invasion economy has fallen off a cliff, especially in the last couple months, because this game has done so little to take care of its PvP scene. Get some roll catch right there. Now we're just going to bully a PvEer because this is content. I am sorry, sir. I thought he was going to stand and bang with that one. I mean, that was kind of just bullying. Like, it's a guy using the pizza cutter. Okay, so this is the real meat and potatoes of this video. All of the rest of this was just an entree, just appetizer, excuse me, to this here. I'm just like, I can ignore these skulls. Huh? Huh? You see that damage? Okay, clearly I can't ignore them. Wow. This is going really bad. Wow. So that went really, really poorly. I didn't expect the skeleton heads to do that much damage. That is truly insane. Like, maybe that man's over-leveled to be using Knight Rider Glaive and that. Absolutely, he's using Morgoth's right now. That has a huge dexterity cost. But I could tell that these were guys just waiting for Mr. G Banana, and so I was like, you know what? If I have to play like a wiener dog on this one, I will, because I either want to go the distance or I want to win this one. No in-betweens. Get hit really hard by Flaming Strike right there, and this is one of those terrifying moments where you have two people with very good chasing weapons chasing you. I don't know why they put the thing to protect from magic on. I don't know. Probably has so large of a mana bar that it really just doesn't matter. Like, he can do it, you know. I don't know what his level was, but you know, one can imagine it's quite high if he's using the stuff he is right there. They just decide that they're not going to chase me, which is good for us. I was hoping that they would break off eventually. And we are just going to use this time to try and annoy them some, because this is one where I really dug my feet in, and I was like, I'm going to do my absolute best to win this invasion. So we pull out all the stops in our inventory. We're regenerating health and our mana bar. We swap back to the shield ring right there. As you can see, they're using the warming stone. Once again, just proving that they are in fact ganking here on purpose. But that does mean that if I so choose, I'm perfectly able to use that myself. And I'm like, oh man, we have a co-invader. We got this in the bag now. This is gonna do good. Let's pay attention to what this Peeverson Enjoyer starts doing. What are you doing, bud? You see all these guys that are like attacking me? Why'd you just pass them? Why are you still attacking me? Why are you killing yourself? What are you doing? I truly don't understand the moral compass of this character. I don't understand his intentions, what his game plan was. Once again, pulling out all the stops, putting on all the stuff to make our Crimson Tears as effective as possible. But yeah, this guy's just utterly confusing. Like, you invaded. Why are you attacking another invader? Now, he does do a teensy bit of damage to us. I put on... I just redid my inventory. I actually have the blood, the robustness talisman nearby now. And look, he thinks these guys are his friends. Look at that health bar. Well, would you look at that? Would you look at that, bud? You decided to attack Mr. Bad Red Man over here. And just because bad is in the name doesn't mean that you shouldn't team up with me. Look at these clowns over here. You chose to side with them, and you reap what you sow. So enjoy your own world, bud. So, you know, we're taking a moment, we're regenerating our HP. Even though we have more Crimson Tears, like I said, we're pulling out all the stops. And since they are not chasing me, I can just take the time I want and just save a Crimson Tear. Which, you know, you're like, oh, why would you do that? Why would you spend time doing that? Well, when you run out of Crimson Tears, usually things get quite bad. So preserving them, even if it's just one or two, is a good idea, especially when you're in a war of attrition like this. So we're just waiting for our HP to come all the way up, and then we will give it another go. And more so than my HP, what I'm really waiting for is a competent co-invader, because clearly they have the Taunter's Tongue on, and Mr. Peverson Connoisseur over here did not do the trick, but maybe this guy here will. Afro Sniper, 1998. Maybe he's the companion we need. I need to get up there as quick as possible because Lord knows that these guys are pulling out all the chase down tools to be as painful as possible. So painful, in fact, it'll send you back to your world. But we can see that the host has pulled out dual Nagis. Very cringe. Accidentally hit my host, my co-invader right there because I'm amazing at the game. And he seems to be doing quite well for himself. He's definitely putting in a little bit more work than I am right now. I'm doing a little bit of roll catching. It's clear that these guys don't like how I've been playing because they essentially are trying to kill my teammate as much as possible. I think they want to counter long haul me. But I notice this as they are avoiding me as much as possible. I throw in the Bull Goat Talisman right there to be able to tank certain hits from the straight sword setup a little better. It forces me to lock onto the red right there because this game's amazing. But yeah, as you can see right here, this is when I was like, oh, they're intentionally avoiding me. I need to be more aggressive than I'm already being. I get just enough poise to be able to go through Storm Stomp. That was the other reason I put on the Bull Goat Talisman, was because I saw him using Storm Stomp. Hit him for a good 520 damage right there. Gonna swap to the consecutive hit talismans. I see him pull out the halberd right here, which, as you know, is going to break our poise essentially no matter what. Go ahead and get our regeneration going again. And here in a moment, I'm probably going to take Bull Goats back off. Very juicy hit right there, accompanied nicely by my teammate. I do get hit there a little bit, but we are going to be all good and get back into the fight. I do have my inventory set up to where I can get to Crimson Seed Medallion as quickly as possible. I already know these types of situations. I knew the moment that the host got hit more than twice that the co-invader, the Phantom, excuse me, was coming as quick as possible to save his boyfriend. So we do turn around to try and do something about it. He was a little bit quicker to the punch than I was, so we'd still get hit. But should have seen that coming. That was very reactable. I just wasn't paying max attention. Swap that back to the multi-hits. And then I realize, wait, the Great Bow exists. And they're like ignoring me, so why don't I just Great Bow them until they start paying attention to me again? Hit both of them right there. Miss him with that, unfortunate. They're still ignoring me. They don't want this stuff. And then I'm like, oh no, they have my teammate really low. Gotta hit both of them. And I'm able to save them. And I'm able to get him. I point down because this playstyle was very cringe. And look what our host does immediately. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed me talking like an absolute bro moment. And I hope you enjoy me dying to invasions like this and complaining. Good night, everyone.